Hello, a whole bunch of people from Connecticut colleges and universities confessed and recorded they were influenced by people from my town with racketeering leading up to and in the Trade Center attack context. Racketeering Act's rules with the on off campuses. Now, these are people with WFSB, WTNH, and Fox Connecticut News recorded, confessed, and demonstrated a whole bunch of people tied to it as a Delaferro family. I never had a class with the Delaferro family. I never hung around with them. I know them for brief times. I was just reminds. Only time I ever went anywhere with them was to a fire department campus. No. These people know so they can pretend they make exceptions, so they can play fact-cheating nature, racketeering background. Because they can't play it in real life and on paper because they were raised with judges retired and standing. There are probate judges in a Delaferro family per them. And their roles were confessed, recorded with a whole bunch of people tied to Spada family, a whole bunch of sisters and a brother, and their mother works reportedly with the high school still. I don't know if it's still, but I believe so. And now, see, these are people that are victims. They're raised with FBI, with racketeering, with former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, was a defendant in a Connecticut 2006 case that came about after it was proven in the Ninth Circuit, right before the Trade Center attack, in this court right next to them, presented to the Ninth Circuit panel of judges, had been post-dated documents, post-dated to appear late from inside the court. Those same people are involved, really nice people, I found thereafter, involved with racketeering on off CCSU with an officer Magnanos. He's also confessed and recorded criminal uses of an officer Manos, and his roles with the former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, his co-defendants in a 2006 part of a case that came up from this proved case/S. Those people were further then and now involved with judges, with crime acts, and with prosecutors with crime acts roles in the Trade Center attack context, as the ones are first involved with it with CCSU. On off the state judicial branch office, there's a little road in front of it. But really there's a whole route that goes by it. It looks like it's right in front of it too, so it's a word fact, cheating nature, racketeering. But people on that road that goes right by it and that route are recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved racketeering with a house in my area, with the Cololo family. A Phil Colo, I never had a conversation with in my life. I explained this. I never saw him in my area in my life when I was growing up. His cousin moved into my grade when I was in 4th grade. Now, this Phil Colo and 2 Mendez police and other police forms tied to him with the Weathersfield police chief, his daughter, and her extended family member, further then and now with prosecutors, also male and female, with the principal sex offenders campus criminally. They also lied to me and did so to the former Governor Malloy, forcing abuses of kids not to be told on. They have statutes that say who has credibility over each other in a case. They're lying out a sequence so they can use that criminally. We have criminal readings of statutes recorded. They have to hide their actually recorded natures now. Our branches of government, Connecticut, with the Trade Center. Standing lie progression, cover-up natures. Standing criminal insidiousness natures. They also have a whole bunch of people from my town I'm in a class with pretending other because they locked themselves into corners the way they did. So they need to lock everyone. Their indifference to using jails, to using arrests, using weapons to further their criminal agenda, using drugs, using contexts that kill. So respond for them forging and switching names with the judges. Respond for these coward cops with these coward judges pretending they don't understand that. They know it. It's recorded. Respond for the coward prosecutors. They don't act. So we need them to pick one name in sequence, get out to writing now. They have a FOTUS doulos. They keep bringing with the media that are recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. They were involved since through time. The state judicial, with these people on and off the state judicial branch offices, all along that route with them with their identity racketeering. I did fake conversations with fake and other people, attaching little kids to fake locations through time, putting fake things in databases, stacking that, specifically to exploit it down the road. Now, where houses on and off the campuses in town further involved with the colleges and universities, intelligence people in foreign families, police forms, and overt criminal enterprises, and private ones recorded in collusion, originally and still, effectively having kept and keeping them needed to hide line progressions from each standing database relationship. Needed to hide their actually recorded natures. See criminal insidiousness nature. See wrongdoers. See wrongdoing. See their predicate acts like mail crimes, wire crimes, falsified police reports. They just stick stuff into databases like that too. Confessions regarding that. Uses of confessions. So they can keep people fighting about debatable things that are not even debatable outside of courts, because they have the courts and the police forms involved with various crimes with the foreign. This is a scholar family I never had a class with, didn't even go to my school, as far as I know. Recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. Involved racketeering with Weathersfield police through time, human trafficking. Crimes with the principal sex offenders campus, and with locations next to campuses tied with this. As people also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with racketeering on and off CCSU and on and off Trinity College since before I went there. On and off other Connecticut colleges and universities involved with the racketeering uses of little kids with the kids' campuses. So respond for the Weathersfield police forging names, switching names with the proven and further child sex offenders I caught them with, and what brought that up. All these untimely deaths connected on confessions tied to that. All tied to my new and past neighbors, intercities, intercampuses I went to, colleges and universities, as the ones with the roles with the racketeering use of the houses in my area, foreign and domestic. They even have them with themselves recorded criminal uses of the Witness Protection Program. Now, WFSB, Fox Connecticut News, and WTNH, there's a guy named FOTUS doulos, also recorded and confessed and demonstrated involved with them with racketeering, and judges, Hartford courts, other various courts in Connecticut, on and off the state judicial branch offices, again, all along that route that goes by them, recorded involved with them with times juxtaposed natures of racketeering, even roles with abuses of little kids, little girls, and boys with a principal sex offenders campus. Sickly distinctly, they have the kids of the interbranch family members, prosecutors that pretended involved with evidence racketeering acts, and then with uses of their kids' roles with the principal sex offender. Not by accident, there were more then and now. Two Mendez police, DeMoro families, others recorded and confessed crimes with human resource offices tied to the Escalora family. Also recorded and confessed with houses next to the schools tied further with the human trafficking. People pretending to meet at fake locations, fake ties to themselves through time. I just remind. There are also people, a whole bunch of people from East Hartford associated with Officer Magnanos, and his roles with CCSU racketeering acts, and on and off it with Hartford. He's recorded, confessed, and demonstrated also with Hartford and his roles with crimes with depositions and with criminal uses of a Steve Manos. As people involved also with racketeering leading up to the Trade Center, in the Trade Center attack context, Ninth Circuit, proven afterward, post-dated documents have been presented to the Ninth Circuit panel of judges, made them appear to prove late. That proving led to a 2006 case with former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, his co-defendants. The media, they won't report this. They're hiding it because they were already involved with it criminally. CNN is also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with racketeering with Comey and Mueller tied to the Racketeering Act's roles, and as a whole bunch of people tied to it, as former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, and his federal criminal co-defendants as the ones further involved with the houses in my area with child sex offender campus, principal's campus, and roles then and now. And in the background with human trafficking. Now we have other military and foreign and domestic military and foreign and domestic police forms involved with inter-branch, inter-cities, colleges and universities involved with line progressions and offensively where it keeps that needed by them, involved with the campuses of each age, further involved with the principal sex offenders campus then and now, with two Mendez police, forging names, switching names, pretending things recorded by police that weren't, to hide the principal sex offender, also to hide their roles with identity thefts against me, and just because I went to the same town as them. I never had they attached me to fake locations, fake communications with these two Mendez police. Inside, outside of the Weatherfield police officers, inside, outside of the New Britain Superior Court, recorded, confessed, faking, recorded things with them. As people involved also with a whole bunch of people recorded, confessed, a former Mayor Gold and his family is also involved with the racketeering, with the human trafficking, and with the news media racketeering, with the human trafficking, and the principal sex offender and drug crimes roles. People on off the state judicial branch offices, on off the state forensics lab. Now state police offices are also involved with this with their family members, their daughters and stuff even. On off CCSU, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with my area criminally involved with them. Now this is everyone forced to speak through other people. And they're not, I can't get around that's used to pretend people have conversations that never were. Pretend people have fake locations, fake ties to others that are complete strangers, fake ties to others, natures of ties to others that we barely know. All in collusion. There's a Joshua Julian, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with Facebook police inter-branch roles with that, with human trafficking, further with sexual crime roles, with a principal sex offender. They have their online Facebook pages of New Britain Superior Court, also recorded and confessed and demonstrated inside and outside of court, involved with them with human trafficking, other natures of racketeering. But I want to focus on the confessions about and the human and all the narratives tied to their roles with the principal sex offenders campus then and now further. And with a whole bunch of more police tied to these two Mendez police. I want to have a conversation about their crimes with principal sex offender and pretending conversations with me. Get them out the paper. Get these judges out the paper, picking one name in sequence too, and one spelling of their names. Who trains? Follow mandate law here. WTNH is also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated by people involved with drugs with kids on and off the high school, as locations next to the high school, locations next to the middle school, locations next to the child campuses, further recorded, confessed, and demonstrated criminally involved. Have them pick one name in sequence at their same branch. They have their kids already used criminally. They didn't do that because they worried about their kids. Sorry, they want to say that. Pick one name in sequence. The evidence racketeering reveals that is not true. That is a truth they attach lies to, that they care about their kids. Get them down and out. We need federal stewardships of Connecticut. That's recorded. Now this is what led them up to and as further recorded roles. Racketeering uses of the Trade Center attack ground locations. And then defenses of that. Live progressions. They need hid now. They need to hide their actually recorded natures. See criminal insidiousness nature. See wrongdoers, wrongdoing. See sequence true. Respond for them. Further on off the high school. Our people involved with the child campuses over here on off the middle school and the principal sex offenders campus. Further recorded and confessed, involved. People with the racketeering, with the Wethersfield police chief, prosecutors. Get them done. Get them done. Prosecutors from my town, with doctors in their drug clinics, pretend conversations with me never were, ever. Not at all. Like this Lady family, with this Brian Silver. A Lady family and a Brian Silver, a whole bunch of people tied to them, recorded and confessed and demonstrated involved with the drugs racketeering, with evidence racketeering, database crimes, with the principal sex offenders campus, and with the Bryn Superior Court, and with other Hartford courts, and with federal criminal code defendants, a former director of the FBI, and with other agencies involved with them with racketeering. If you call up the phone, they'll lie about what you call over the phone. If you email the police, they'll lie about what's over the email. Then that email will cease to exist. For example, Wethersfield police recorded and confessed and demonstrated email crime rules and has sexual crime acts rules with a principal sex offender. Then and now, with people worse than him, recorded and involved with the uses of that and his campuses and of him. They prevented him from making confessions to myself and to others, and to the courts and to the police firms involved. They worse than prevented his confessions and hid their own. They have confessions also used criminally through time. I just remind. So respond. New York, there is a Fred Grouzet, also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved racketeering acts roles with Wethersfield police chief's daughter and his foreign and extended family members. Involved also with further Trade Center racketeering interstates. He's also reportedly involved with Staten Island. Find out this Fred Grouzet. Get me a response for them. They are further involved with Connecticut media on and off the Wethersfield High School and with the Della Farrow family. Also involved with drug crimes, medical drug crimes, and overt gang drug crimes, and with their identity theft racketeering. They're told how to act and play games. They've shared sexual circles, sharing girlfriends that they exploit. Now they want that hid. So those girls value that not spoken about. They lock everyone, child abuse, on and off campuses. We have no leadership. We have the media of Connecticut recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with effectively maintained criminally foreign influence uses of the identity of CNN, preventing mandated law. They know that they are. They know that they're hiding from information while they're making it up and have been, pretending passions and emotions dishonestly, criminally dishonestly, sequence shifting, hiding, Trade Center attack, racketeering acts roles leading up to it, and then in the context. And with the investigators since before the Trade Center attack, I have been trying to report confessions to me from a whole bunch of people in the city tied to the courts criminally involved. Then in the Trade Center attack. And now since Now with a principal sex offender with and as the same interbranch leaders with their kids involved criminally then and now. Further and further juxtaposed natures of crimes. There's a photos doodles on and off Albany Avenue, on and off West Hartford Farmington, on and off in the Braden locations, on and off the state of Connecticut judicial branch offices, rolls with database racketeering, rolls with crimes, with WTNH, per them, per his lawyer too. I don't know the name of his lawyer. He's got a ponytail. Also, judicial branch associated with Stanford, associated with this ILO family, also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated racketeering acts roles with colleges and universities, also involved with the human trafficking with the younger ages of kids. Fake identity thefts against me too. This Joe Aiello with aggression that was trying to start a fight with me online on Facebook. No. He recorded, confessed, and demonstrated also racketeering acts roles and uses of a gold family with him. Now a whole bunch of people recorded, confessed, and demonstrated a gold family further evolved through time with mayors retired and standing, with sexual, medical, and Washington, D.C. tied to areas, racketeering uses of them, and military, foreign, and domestic. Respond for them. Pick one name in sequence. The judicial branch, distinctly and non-distinctly from the executive branch, they forge names, they switch names, they use those crime methods. They distinctly and non-distinctly have other crime methods, switching sequences, using their databases criminally, valuing having been used criminally. The other databases, no. So we have programs with Trinity College and with CCSU that are involved with other nations also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. That's why they keep them hiding this from parents. Now there are proofs that when they had those treatments of parents, this person did whatever, real or made up, especially made up, to get their kids into this school. Those people are victims being used by the people pretending to be against what they're already for. Those courts already uses of those schools, of colleges and universities criminally. Already use them with live progressions from that tied to their treatments and the jobs with the younger kids. Used to get over on them criminally. We have further overt criminal enterprises. Juxtaposed, how kept needing to hide the same sequence shifts, finite lies, active lies, progressive lies, and identity thefts, frauds, and racketeering here. See, we have judges involved with identity frauds, thefts, and racketeering, and with their extended family members, and with the house in my family area with extended family members, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated interbranch involved with human trafficking, but fake conversations and ties to me, intercities through time since I was a kid. They didn't go to my school even. The school or family recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with police with area, breaking into house with roles with breaking into houses, falsified police reports, forging names, switching names, mail crimes, wire crimes, other natures of predicate acts with judges, with other agencies, not just the FBI Director Robert Luskin and his co-defendants. No, who have family members with kids, who are father. Had a kid in my grade, Don LeConche. Never had a conversation with her in my life. Not one sentence. She's recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with sexual circles, with CCSU, with Trinity College, involved with racketeering acts tied to that. I've juxtaposed other natures, but juxtaposed. They also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated racketeering acts roles with locations on and off the colleges and universities. As people recorded, confessed, and demonstrated racketeering ties The houses next to the campuses. Involved further with the principal sex offenders campus and the other ones in town, each age of campus. For example, foreign and domestic military, medical families are further recorded, confessed, and demonstrating other natures of racketeering also on and off the Weathersfield Southstein Middle School. These are and locate businesses and houses next to that location are also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated further involved with human trafficking, sexual, medical, overt drugs, overt criminal enterprises, military, foreign, and domestic in collusion with the identity thefts, keeping little punk fakes, criminally foreign influence, who our leaders are relying on. Our presidents relying upon states and areas, mass styles of liars. Excuse me. Mass criminal insidiousness natures. You respond for your coward judges, for your coward prosecutors. You respond for Weathersfield Police Chief, uses of his coward daughter, and of his foreign and domestic family members, involved with further racketeering uses of house in my area, further racketeering uses of the child sex offenders proven and further recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. You hear the confessions too, tied to the principal sex offender. You have recorded. They lie about what's recorded over email. They lie about what's recorded over Facebook. Sequence shifting. Stealing people's identity. People are going to get angry. They're going to lie about your emotions and passions. They're going to lie about sequence. And they've been doing much worse. That's all rehearsed. That led them up to their motivations. With racketeering acts further on and off the proven, but further recorded, confessed, and demonstrated on and off the trade center attack locations, interstates. Further on off the Ninth Circuit Court right next to it, or further people involved with the principal sex offenders campus. Further crimes then and now, intercities, interstates, as these people pretended conversations with me with doctors, with lawyers, with prosecutors. They never were. Fake conversations with the media. They never were. Attach me to fake locations. Attack little kids. Fake locations. Fake ties to others. Especially if those others have degrees or badges of significance, especially healthcare ones. You don't attach people. Get them done. Get them. You need a place to be able to report things and have a logic conversation. See, we have logic, criminally foreign influence. We have criminally foreign influence reading of statutes. There are a whole bunch of places in East Hartford that you're going to find out about. You'd rather find out about it here because of how it's foreign and domestic juxtaposed. On and off the building and plane locations. These are... The plane location in East Hartford with the building of the planes. Did they build that plane that they took off out of the air for a while because of electrical problems it was having? Because these are people involved with other nations, like a DeMauro family recorded, confessed, and demonstrated racketeering with other nations and with our own interbranch. Now, these are also people colleges and universities racketeering with the kids' campuses. Now, we need to have some military, foreign, and domestic also tied to my area. I don't even know all their names. But they know my name and people keep talking. Whatever they're saying in the background, lie. Get me a response. I've been asking you since before the Trade Center attack. All they've been doing is forging names, switching names. I caught them. Then they became people in the Trade Center attack interstates. Worse than interstates, racketeering acts rolls. Now respond for them. I never saw Eric Burgess and that girl tied to him, Emily or Amy, whatever, in my life outside of on campus. They both recorded, confessed, and demonstrated leading up to and after that they were involved with judges and with a whole bunch of people, even insurance companies, investigators, people associated with them, leading up to into the Trade Center attack context. They invested them, needed to hide lie progressions, needed to hide their roles with sequence shifts that they don't even understand or know about. Finite lies, active, progressive, and identity racketeering lies. Everyone's speaking to others. Respond for them. Whole bunch of people recorded, confessed, and demonstrated a Casper family. I never had anything to do with the Casper family. He was a coach in my school. I never was on that team. I never had a class with Chuck Casper. I don't know his sister's name even. I only know his name because of confessions tied to them. They're further involved with a Leahy family. Further with judges with racketeering various natures of courts. Prosecutors with their drug crime rule with kids. Their database crime rules. Mail crime rules. Whole bunch of Wethersfield police recorded, confessed, and demonstrated that a Leahy family and the Wethersfield police chief are in collusion. They use crime methods like have them say, oh, the Leahy guy's real mad. That implies I had a conversation with the Leahy guy and or his family ever. Any kind of conversation. I never had a conversation with them. I explained that online. How they tried to pretend I had a conversation with him. The guy, I wouldn't have a conversation. So we have doctors with Hartford Hospital, other ones from other nations after that too. So we have to have the sequence fit because these are people also with those courts already with their family members and kids and extended family members, kids involved criminally through time. So we have sick natures of people with psychology. The judges are delusions, raw, criminally foreign influence. Like a Judge Killian. What a degenerate bastard that guy is. Excuse my language. But what a degenerate that guy is. Respond for that guy. With the sequence shifts, fake conversations with me. Fake communications with me. Then he records himself after pretending other. These are really sick crime methods we have to counter with the judicial branch. On off the state judicial branch offices with others tied to a Fianza family, with the racketeering, with the media, with the training of such through time, with the training of each nature of industry. I just respond. Also, CNN. You are also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated racketeering acts, roles, uses of you by Connecticut, interstates, intelligence community, foreign and domestic military, on off CCSU, and your roles preventing mandated law, hiding from mandated law, and pretending you don't understand. You guys have no integrity. When you guys are involved with all kinds of natures of database racketeering, media crimes, sequence shifts, forcing child sex offender, forcing human trafficking, pretending passions and emotions, specifically to get over, to hide things, pretend not to realize. Such things like the sequence shifts. Follow the sequence shifts, not the money, people. Don't blame bankers. Bankers, they told you ahead of time they were involved with the racketeering that our branch was left self-valued roles with. Now we have all along the parks in my town, also as the houses further on and off the campus is criminally involved. People from my middle school I never had a class with pretending other. People I barely know outside of class, like a Kerr family. People tied to them. Oh, but on police form now, they say they confess, record online. The police forms pretending because they're police, they have rules to hide and to force not told on sexual abuses of little boys and girls. Mail crimes, wire crimes, real sick courts. Now, these are also people who recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with racketeering with Sandy Hook. Now, they are also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated judges, various natures of courts, prosecutors, state's attorneys, criminal uses of the victims of Sandy Hook as weapons. As weapons. So someone respond for these cowards. I'm not going to go forward and beg some victims of them that they have as their victim predator weapons now. Breaching screens, breaching tools. Respond for the other nations involved with the house in my area. I'm Phil Coloro, extended family members of the House of Miami area, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated further racketeering acts against me and my family rules. Also with the Dillon family, many recorded, confessed, and demonstrated a Dillon family further with my new and past neighbors involved with racketeering with the campuses, even sexual, even medical, even judicial. Watch me teach train since founding without judges. Sick! Real! Have them follow rules. Have them follow sequence true while getting out or getting trained. They need it. Here, I'll show you that recorded. Have them pick one name in sequence two. Get on to respond to me. I'm writing now. Here, New York. Do you have one person with the ability to respond to me? Pick one name in sequence. Don't start theorizing. That's what they do. They make people start theorizing for them. Then you're having a conversation about theory. I'm not trying to debate anything. I'm not trying to report what's not recorded. True always, and not denying any exceptions. These people have been denying exceptions criminally through criminal foreign influences that effectively have maintained states and areas incapable of speaking for free speech, let alone for science. That's why we have the problems with areas. Their delusions raw when they can't see that there are other things tied to money, there are other effect treatments. They can't discern that no. The topics they separate for time reasons and stuff like that, they're doing so exploiting all ways, too fast, too slow time. They went for jobs. I'm going to be a judge. I'm going to be a prosecutor. That'll make money. You sick fakes! Here, CT breaks. That's recorded our obligation to take them down. To find the seed, it's here. All gather around. Respond for them. They need me to pretend. I don't realize the courts recorded, confessed, and demonstrated by my neighbors. The police forms demonstrated by them involved with them criminally. I'm not going to blame them. They were honest about that. The courts! Get them onto one name in sequence. All kinds of names. They have their kids involved with the principal sex offender. Prosecutors. Now they cannot handle another case. That shows it. They're involved with forging names, switching names, stealing people's identities, attaching us to fake words, fake locations, fake ties to other, fake recorded things, boxings. I'll show you why and how names, flyers, speak about any area, speak about any topic. Their opinions, they're dishonest about their opinions. I'll show you how to reveal that. Respond for this lady family, also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. Whole bunch of people tied to them. Whole bunch recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. They're involved with racketeering, with drugs clicks, with New Britain Superior Court, Hartford courts, leading up to and in the Trade Center attack context from this state, Connecticut. Interstates. That's also Washington, D.C. Note this part of the case /S was also in Washington before that, too. And thereafter. But so we'll examine this. Respond for them in writing. They also had a house in my area I never had a conversation with. That person that was in my grade tied to one of the houses. Now they reportedly confessed and demonstrated. People that influence others to pretend other. They were recorded, that's why they had behavior tied to that in a pattern where it was right at that time. So instead of having me seek you guys out to follow mandated law, if you call Wethersfield police, they'll lie about what's actually recorded. And no, as of this point, I never had one conversation of any kind, verbal, in my life with Janito Mendez. One of the officers with his brother, with the Wethersfield Police Department, involved with principal sex offender, with the Wethersfield Police Chief's daughter and extended family member also further criminally with the school, and with prosecutors, with their kids. They've been using such to hide their criminal foreign influences, and to hide life progressions. Those are also ones that were involved with this Leahy family. With this Brian, there's a Leahy family and there's a Brian Silver, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with mail crimes of various natures in courts, with wire crimes, identity thefts, sequences, fake conversations with me, as World Trade Center crimes, talking about that. They pretended I talked to them. Not only did they pretend I spoke with them, they pretended I spoke with them about the World Trade Center attack. The same ones involved with principal sex offenders campus, uses of their own kids. Sick punk! Thanks! You respond to me here now! I can't work until I get a response. They recorded, confessed, and demonstrated how they have a house in my area involved with Manchester Pile criminally. With the same ones that are criminally. With all these gyms, I didn't even go to them criminally. Sandy Hook, Newtown, is associated with the Lions Den. I only went there one time in my life. And before I went there, people associated with Sandy Hook, Newtown, made confessions, demonstrations. They pretended other. They pretended I'd been in there before that. There's a whole bunch of people tied to also with the Scully family, with the houses in my area directly and indirectly tied to the confessions with that. All these gyms, interstates, but in Connecticut, everyone's speaking to others and that's used criminally. Identity thefts. Then you need to report something. They only have fake conversations with you, with someone you never had a conversation with in your life. Respond for them. Sandy Hook. Newtown. Not the victims. Respond for someone who's not a victim. Respond for the codes in your town. Intercities with Connecticut. Out of the state judicial branch offices. Out of the state prison offices. The same families with the same racketeering acts rules. There's a Dave. I don't remember his last name. I never had a class with him. I never had anything to do with him. One time, real fast, we were by his house. He lived near the state judicial branch offices, Hartford/Wethersfield. Associated with this Tamara family and with the Carl family, with extended family members, also further recorded, confessed, and demonstrated by Sandy Hook, by Wethersfield Police, and by state forensics people, state police. Recorded, confessed, demonstrated crimes with medical doctors with them, with child sex offenders, human trafficking, fake ties to me. As male and female prosecutors also involved with them, with the racketeering uses of these forensics locations, and with the transition from Alca to Rico, and with the transition into the Department of Homeland Security. Also many of our ways involved with them, worse than war crimes. Here, intercities, racketeering acts and methods actually recorded natures. They need me to bring up the people's names I don't even know, because they need to pretend I know. I forgot, I didn't even know. the people from my grade, associated with the house down the street. I forgot the name. Sullivan or something like that. There's also O'Sullivan. These are internation. O'Sullivan. These are people with unions and all these pseudo-positive, same broken grammar school logic at national levels, world news levels, not by accident. World news. Anyone from another country start making fun of my branch of government and my military till they respond. Oh, coward! You'll stay there! Don't pretend being sick with a gavel and with a gun and badge is courage! Don't pretend jumping out of a plane, giving your life to others to think for you is courage. Your leader's live! All rise! Give me one name in sequence. Pick one name in sequence. Respond into me, into branch, into campuses now. You want to bring in want to invest the campuses with so many damages upon people that they make it less than it is. My order today makes it further. This per method of following those two laws. Recorded, first demonstrate, state police, FBI, CIA, crimes with them, with those treatments on our case, with judges, people tied to Stanford with their criminally, tied to this Iowa family, tied to this Mariano, the Morrows, all the people of my area with marketing with courts, attached me to fake ties to themselves, into the little drug cliques, sexual circles, evidence racketeering natures. Get down! Respond in paper now! They refuse paper in the courts. They record use criminally that way. You may pray. They lied to those campuses involved with them, those teachers, those families trying to get their kids in there. Those campuses already used every family criminally. We have one college and university. I defend their identity properly. That's recorded. Now follow the sequence shifts in the evidence racketeering acts. The name forging, name switching, racketeering uses of their Facebook pages, racketeering uses of their emails tied to this, recorded. Respond for your leaders, fake!